All right, all right, all right. Good morning, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say, this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and will rest therein. I'm coming early this morning with just a little something, something, and it dawned on me this morning that we, as the individual who feel we are walking in the light, really don't fully understand what is really taking place in this walk. Uh, when walking in the light, you have to take out time to submit to uh, that which is greater in thee. And you have to be able to recognize and know that there is something greater within thee. Uh, in this day and time, the Most High would desire that we uh, uh, practice using our spirit, trying spirits by the Spirit. So when we get to the point that we're about to face, we'll know somewhat what is before us. Not just individuals, but issues that is before us. You can also try the issues by the spirit of the Most High Yah that rests therein, by your spirit that rests therein, that abide in Yah's spirit, in His spirit, in yours, you're able to have the power to try the spirit by the spirit. Okay, and there's other gifts that has been poured out, and that was and that is given to man, but they today have refused to activate it to the point where they know that it exists. Uh, it's not like he poured out these gifts and he decided, since you're not going to be a good girl, or you're not going to be a good a woman, or a righteous man, I'm going to take these gifts back. He said the gift came before repentance. And I think that is beautiful, because that says that in Yah, He had a plan to usher out gifts before you were even able to repent unto Him. He still had issued those gifts out, letting you know it had nothing to do with your choice or your free will. Mhm. So these gifts are actually balled up within us because we are refusing to understand that faith is the substance of things unseen, but yet believed. That leads me to a full understanding that faith is a spirit of the Most High Yah. It is a gift of the Most High Yah to keep us believing and trusting in His word. Okay. Then we have endurance. Endurance is not something that we can just crank up or feel that we can go through this, or I'm going to go through this, I'm going to persevere. What I think has happened is flesh has gotten a great number of people to separate uh, the wheat from the tare. And in that, those that are the wheat, they are caught up with the tare, and they can't find their way because they love being among the tare. They love being among the world and what the world has to say. But if they would just try their spirit by the spirit of those who's teaching, who's preaching, who's giving you insight, and those who's giving you information, if you would try your spirit by their spirit, you'll realize they are totally 100 off course and not in line with the spirit that rests therein. And I want to say this here. Um, when we say that we have free will and free choice, understand this: it is vain and vexed. Your free will is vain and vexed. Okay. Go back to Solomon and read Solomon. Solomon is actually saying that, and that's why he was feeling that, okay, everything is vain and vexed, it's worthless, do as you please. If you got this, and Yah has allowed you to get this, know that, enjoy it, because that's your portion of what Yah has suffered you to have while you're here. Does it make you righteous? Does it make you perfect? Does it make you fall in the will of eternal life? No, no. Just like a lot of the Hebrew Israelite people, which is the house of Israel, not so much as, to me, anybody outside of the tribe of Judah, they could care less. They are part of the house of Israel. And it's sad. It's sad that the tribe of Judah is the only nation that's pressing forth with the 12 tribes, but they the only nations that's sinning greatly against Yah. Does that make any sense? They are the only tribe that press forward in trying to get other tribes to know who they are, but yet because they are so loaded with sin, they can't even comprehend that the other tribes could care less. Isn't that deep? The other tribes are not out here doing what the tribe of Judah is doing. And that's kind of deep to me, and it's kind of sad, but I don't hear nobody on these devil platforms teaching, preaching, precepting that, or lining that, or understanding that. The tribe of Judah is, I think, is the harshest tribe in this day and time, in spite of uh, 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 them being one that the Most High has chosen for a reason of his own. But yet, if you stay close to what proceeds out of the mouth of Yah and not out of the mouth of man, you'll find out that Judah is a hot mess. And they are the only tribe that's trying to stand on the mountain and proclaim the 12 tribes. And the other 12 could care, the other 11, the other 10, I'm just saying in between, could care less. They could care less. But the tribe of Judah, it makes him feel good that he can stand on a mountain and proclaim, we the people, we the people, we the 12. But he don't look at what his tribe is doing in the world today. He don't see how his tribe is disrespecting Yah, profaning his name, dishonoring the Most High Yah, not following the footstep of Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay? This tribe follows nothing that is spirit and truth. It follows only the things that it teaches people in its newfound religion. And that is, first of all, number one, is hatred. Okay? They have to line themselves up with hate. So anybody that have any hate at that level, they have to understand that you're going to be out there. You're going to be out there thinking that you are the head one of the tribes, and you're going to be out there because from what Jacob was saying, you have your hand. The tribe of Judah always has his hand in the oppressor neck. So that leads me to understand Judah is always going to fight against or toward the oppressor. So that's a bad sign there, because what Jacob was saying is Judah is going to do that, and Judah is going to be like a lion that's going to be crouched down, and he's going to be, and he even brought up, Jacob also brought up an old lion, and that he's going to be just down there because ain't nobody going to be able to get him up. To me, that shows bullheaded, stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient. Will not follow rules and will not follow orders. So if we as women thinking that the Most High are giving us something to give our people, we're lost without a cause. If we think for 1 minute the tribe of Judah is going to take heed, he's not. Jacob said he wasn't. And when did Jacob say that? Jacob said that the day he died. when he had his sons before him. And Jacob didn't speak very good of majority of his sons. And I like that because truth was being told. He wasn't trying to give them a blessing that you're going to be all this and all that. No, Jacob told the truth and shamed the devil. Because with me as a prophet is in the wilderness, I can embrace Jacob because I heard Jacob call them and they refused to come. Then I heard the Spirit of the Most High charge them, come with great power. And they came. And the reason why they didn't want to come is because they didn't want to hear the final word of Jacob, because Jacob's word is going to stand to eternal, to the end. Let me say that. His word is going to stand to the end. And they did not want to come before him. And they know he was dying. And what he was coming to do is give them the last word and testament of a father that was the seed, one of Yah's seed that came down. And what I loved what he did, because you all with Simeon and Reuben, he didn't give them nothing good. And with Jacob, what a lot of people don't understand about the tribe of Judah was Jacob got his blessing. Not Jacob. Yeah, not Jacob. Judah was blessed as the tribe, one of the tribes, because his mother didn't really recognize and praise Yah until she had Judah. Judah. So that's where you got the upper hand, Judith. You thinking that you all this and all that, but you ain't doing your study the right way. And it's because of that woman, okay, Leah said to the father, now I shall praise you, Yah, because thou hast given me Judith. So the tribe of Judith is lost without a cause, because even if they think back, it wasn't that through Jacob were you blessed in that way. You was blessed because over the other tribes, remember before Jacob died, he said that all the other sons, his sons, all of them is going to, in a sense, look up to you, Jacob. Not Jacob, Judith. And this is what he was speaking of. The reason why they're looking up to you is because you were the one that woman said to the father, I shall worship you. After which, when she had all those other children by Jacob, she didn't turn to Yah. She didn't worship Yah regarding that. That's going back to what I was saying about polygamy. You all is just messed up from the floor if you think that polygamy is a lifestyle that has been checked in the box as okay by Yah, and it was not. Because all the time that Leah was challenging and running around here having Jacob's children, she had other reasons and meanings to why she was having these children. But when it came down to Judah, she decided that, hey, this here is really, she was giving him back to Yah, and she was thanking and praising Yah for him. So that's why Judah got blessed, is because and put as the main tribe leader, I would say, and as a lion. Okay, a lot of the men won't do that search. They won't realize, well, why did Judah? Why did you come to that level? You have to go back and you have to accept whatever Yah said that it is and not what man says. And you'll understand that that woman, their mother, said, when she had Judith, she began to really worship Yah. That's beautiful. That should send chills down our men and women back to realize that our foremother had such a big role in us being the how would I say it, the lion, the leader of the 12 tribes. But see, none of them won't do that. So they so busy picking and ticking on whatever they can so that they can form a religion. And it's called the Newfound Awakening Movement. What I love was I've heard with my own ears. I've heard a couple of men that has their own program, and they were calling their self this. Now they calling it a Hebrew Israelite movement. And I said, Father, look at that. They know that it is a movement that now, I mean, they come into the understanding. Why? Because so much chaos in what they have formed, that they now is turning away from all these different forms that they created and that they have led many in, and they come into some kind of sense, not all the way, but some. So I do give them that little credit, because once you realize it's just something that someone started and you dived in, and you turned around and dived in a way that each one of them decided to get their own and have their own understanding, and that's why they couldn't come on one accord. But if they understand that it is only a movement and a newfound religion, which is a movement that's not really geared to the Most High Yah. It's geared to awakening people to their understanding and not to the understanding of the Most High Yah. So Sister Deborah would also like to cover what I covered a couple of days ago or a day ago. And I was reading as I was sitting here reading, and I'm going to come out of John, 1 John chapter 4. But I want to explain something to you that I was reading this morning, and it just made my little spirit so happy, because the Most High was showing me when Yeshua had gathered all, and he put the goats on one side and he put the sheep on the other side. And when it was said, this is we in glory now, and we before the throne, and we're being judged. But then he went on to tell them, let me show you an example. I'm gonna swing to Matthew's 25, and it's so beautiful. I looked at that, I said, it is so beautiful to know the truth through the Ruach HaKodesh teaching, because he has a way of teaching you to where it just hits you a different way than when you hear men and women teaching. It just comes to you different. And he said, and in Matthew's 25 and 36, it's Matthew's 25 and 36. I thought this was so beautiful. We're going to bump it up to 35. Matthew's 25 and 36. And it says, for I was and hungry, and ye gave me. Wait a minute now. I was hungry and you gave me. You see that word gave? Hold on to that in your heart. Hold on to that. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. Okay. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. When you are a stranger and you take a person in, that is like giving them a place to stay. It's still give and gave. You see? Listen to this. It says here, I was a stranger and ye took me in. Verse 36. Naked and you clothed me. How did you clothe me? You gave me something to wear. Gave. Okay. I was sick and ye visit me. You gave your time to come out. Okay. You gave your time to go out to visit. Okay. You gave your presence before someone that was sick and ill. That's one thing when you're sick and you love to have a visitor. You love to have company when you're sick, because it just helps pretty much you heal. A lot of people don't know that, but it does. Okay. And then it says here, I was in prison, this 36, and you came unto me. I was in prison and you came unto me. But watch what 7 said, verse 37. Then shall the righteous, hallelujah, hallelujah. Now listen to this. Then shall the righteous answer him. Now listen to this. Now here they are standing before the mighty, the holy. They on holy ground, and they asking a question. But what? Can they ask that? Yes. Why? Because they righteous. Okay, watch this here. And in 37, then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungry and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? Okay, when saw we thee a stranger and took thee in? See, what they did not understand is they were looking pretty much for an action that they thought was considered love. They didn't know that they were doing it when they didn't even know what it was. You see, they were doing things that they did not even know what it was. And in Yah, it is what we call on the earth love. And then you're going to understand it on the in First John chapter 4. See, they sitting here trying to make sense of it in glory, in the holy of holy. They're trying to figure out, Father, when did we do those good things you said we done? When did we do this? See? So when people sit around and they don't know that they don't have a choice and they don't have a free will, it's because it's a lot of things they don't know. You see? And they're not going to know. Because it has to be something in you that's going to trust in what is righteous, what is true. And you have to stand on it whether you understand it or not. Because your flesh is never going to want you to understand anything. But your spirit is willing. It's willing to, wait a minute, Father, let me understand you. So here they are standing in glory on holy ground trying to figure out when you said I did all these good things. But and I gave all my time, I gave my place to stay, I gave food, I gave drink, I visit, I went to prison. When did I do these things? See, a lot of people don't understand, and they trying to understand this in holy. The reason why they can't understand it is because they never knew what love really was. They never knew what love was. And like Sister Deborah said, it was to give and to gain. Everything they did had to do with give and gain. And because the way we are taught love in the way we think love is ill and sick and wicked and hatred. But we call it love. But Yah love is connected to give and gave. Because from the beginning to the end, everything he did, he gave and he gave us throughout the whole time. Look at grace and mercy. What is he doing with that? Wait a minute, hold up. Let me say that again. What is grace and mercy? Anybody know what grace and mercy is? He's pouring out grace and mercy to everyone. Whether you righteous or unrighteous, he's just pouring it out freely. Grace and mercy, 24:24. What is he doing? He's giving grace and mercy. He's given grace and mercy thousands of years and still pouring out grace and mercy. What is grace and mercy? It's what he's given. You see? And he gave in time past, and he's given to us today. In spite of how we do the things that we do, bam, here's some more grace and mercy. In spite of how we don't worship him and we don't believe in him, and there are those that are atheists and all this. Here, I give you something though. I don't care. I'm gonna give you grace and mercy. Because if it wasn't grace and mercy, we'd be up out of here and everything in it. And not just us, everybody. It's that grace and mercy that is given to us and that have been gave. It was gave and it's given to us every day. Grace and mercy. Are we entitled to it? No. But he pours it out. Okay. Now, the reason why I say that is going back to my little picture here. We try to battle and fight up against the things which is carnal and is fleshly. You can't win. This here is just a picture of your spirit, okay, and your flesh, okay? These two fight 24/24 all day and night. Fight against each other. Even your fleshly mind say, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go here. And your spirit say, I'm too tired. Tired and worn out. You ain't got this, you ain't got that, but your mind overrides it. So the spirit is willing. It is good. But the flesh is weak and it is wicked and it is evil. Man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil, good and evil. But except he reach for the tree of life and eat of it, look like you have to take something in. You do. Why? Because as you see, there is another entity that's surrounding your spirit. Here it is. This here line here. That's the tree of life. You have taken it, you have reached for it, and now it abide in thee. And it got your whole spirit covered. You see? But the flesh is so powerful in wicked and evil. This flesh is so powerful in wicked and evil. And that's what's going on in the world today, you guys, whether you know it or not. This here is overpowering everything. This is where the devil loves to come. He can control this at any time he get ready. Did y'all know that? He can control that. Unless this one that's here said, you can't do that. This is where the choice is at. Okay? And this is the Ruach in here, which is the Most High Yah. He controls this choice and this will, letting you know I didn't will that. Only can if I will allow it, if I have willed it. My daughter was in the car and she had a real. She was driving and she said she knew she should have been dead. Why was you driving like that? You knew you should have been dead. If it was up to your choice, you would have been. But it's up to my Father, you don't have the choice. And that's people who run and really put having a choice in a free will. The Christians used to do that a great deal. You have a choice and you have a will. And I think many people who have been into the Christian belief, they have took on this power of you have a choice and you have a will. To me, it's like the world. They want to, like a person can get locked up and that person don't even have to been in that crime or even involved of it, but they can lock you up for years because they don't want truth in anything. They want to believe a lie than the truth, and they live on that. And a lot of times, if we really think, what weight do our choice in our flesh and our free choice and our free will, what weight does it carry? None whatsoever. Because when you finish, the only one has the first and the last say so of your choice and your free will still is Yah. Because he ain't gonna let you just do what you want to do. You wants to commit suicide because that's what your flesh talk about all the time. You want to commit suicide. That's your choice. That's your choice. See if you can get up out of here when you want to. Listen to other people who said they went out there to try to commit suicide more than once, and you'll find out you just can't rule and have a choice so powerful over the choices that the Ruach HaKodesh has ordained and predestined in his will. Where the problem that we have today is we want to believe that we do have this power called choice and this will called choice. And look where it has gotten us in this day, in days past. Word, if you had such a free will, how did you come over here on the ship? And when you got over here, you was in captivity and in slavery, but you so free. You have a choice. Tell me, why didn't you get up out of it? You see the power of trying to really believe that the power is really in your hand to make choices. What it does is it set the captives free. It set me free. It's saying that I can be in captivity in the flesh, but I can be free in the spirit. So which one holds the heavy weight? The one in the spirit. Because the spirit being free, it can cause these shackles to fall off. Y'all didn't know that, did you? And that'll show you how much your flesh has free choice and free will. See, that's where they messed up. When you put so much power in your choice and in your free will, there will be times in your life that you will never make it back to dry land, because your whole mindset is the choices that you make. Now, y'all know we make some bad choices. We think some bad things. But what overrides it? Grace and mercy. And what else? The will of the Father. People do not even understand, and I know they don't understand because it has never been taught, that Yah's will is one. Just as he sent the angel down as the flesh blood sacrifice, and he sent his right hand as the son of Yah, and his the sacrifice, the blood, as the son of man. One is the son of man and one is the son of Yah, but they're going to work one mission in the Father. Both working one mission in the Father. Okay? We have to understand the one that's on this has its purpose, and the one on this has its purpose. Okay? But the one that has the son of Yah, it comes to make sure that the son of man can fulfill his purpose. That's why when Yeshua got into Gethsemane and he told them to stay awake and they couldn't stay awake, and it kind of hurt him because he realized man that's in flesh can't uphold nothing. He realized that, all I ask you to do is just stay awake. Why? He said in spirit, you got to be awake, y'all, because the way the devil comes, he's going to come when you sleep. That's how he's coming. And what he means, sleep in the spirit. So stay up. It's just, he's telling the flesh, just stay up a few minutes. That's just a few minutes. Let your spirit override that. But they couldn't. They fell back to sleep. So he went on. And when he got into to the point where it was time for him to complete the mission that was ordered by Yah, he went down and he began to say, take away this bitter cup. Wait a minute. Hold up, Yeshua. No, you came a mighty long ways. You've done an excellent job. You've done a perfect job. And you said not a word. Wait a minute. Hold up. What you didn't say a word about, Yeshua? A lot of things, Deborah. You know I didn't say a word about a lot of things. You know what it is. See, that's how perfect you begin to walk in Yah. If you understand, there was a lot of things Yeshua did not say. Why? Because he was charged not to. You see, he was charged not to say. So it's all the time you hear at least 3, maybe even more. And Yeshua said not a word. Because there's some things that Yah sent him down here to not say. Okay? So as he was it was in Gethsemane, I think that's where he was at when he was saying, take away this bitter cup. What he was saying is, okay, Christ, I'm down for the count. It's time for me to get up and go. But the feeling is so heavy. This is what man go through in the flesh. Take this feeling away. This is heavy. This is too heavy. Oh, then he said, wait, hold up. Not my will, but your will be done. You see that? How did he separate his will from the one he was speaking to? But your will, let thy will be done. See, 99.9 wouldn't have caught that. Why? Because you have to be able to walk in the spirit to the point where you are submitting yourself, flesh mind, flesh wisdom, flesh understanding, flesh knowledge down, and letting the spirit of the Most High Yah teach you. He can't teach you if your wisdom and your understanding and your knowledge is all up here. He can only bring you to his realm if you're able to shut up long enough to hear. And in hearing, you might understand. And in understanding, you come to the knowledge of what he said. So when Yeshua was in down like that, he was telling me, I'm feeling this like a man. I'm feeling this like a flesh. But he said, wait a minute. Not my will, because that's what I'm feeling. But thy will be done. People messed up on the floor because They have denied the power by not having no respect for the will of the Father. There is a permissive will that, and there is a will of the Most High, and then there's a will that He allowed things to happen. Why? Because it walked His word out according to what He predestined. You see, and we thinking, oh, it's our choice, it's our will. Ain't nothing you doing. You can run. I tell you what you can do. I was telling y'all when I was a little girl, I don't know if I was 6, up to 6, between 8, I would go into the store and I would steal ice cream, especially, and put them in my panties, y'all. I was doing this and I had did it. And one day I came into the store. The man said, I saw on the camera what you've been doing with that ice cream. And oh, I felt so convicted. And I looked at him and he didn't say nothing. He didn't chew me out. He didn't say you owe nothing. I felt so bad. I walked home. I was so sad, y'all. I was so sad because I was caught, I think more so. And that I was the man, they had been looking at, they didn't see me doing it every time, but they had saw it on the camera and had saw that I had done at least 3 or 4 times. And I walked out, and you know what? Even as 6 or I was in between 6 or 8. Do you all know that I walked out of that store talking to the Most High in the heavens? Because I was saying, oh, they know what I did. I'm gonna get in trouble. I feel so bad. And from that day on, every time I go to the store, I would say to the Father, I would like to have some money to buy some candy or to buy some ice cream. And let me tell you something. Father, yeah, I cannot get these people to understand. Mm, 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 mm. Every time I would go to the store from that day on, the Most High had always left me a pile of change. So on my way to store, I would always look down for it. And it never was a time where it was hard for me to see it. And it was almost like He put it there for me. And when you can go to the store and a pile of change is there, and you know that you're talking to a higher power, you know that's Him that's giving you this. Never did I have to steal anymore. The Most High seen to it that. So who saw me stealing first? Yah. Yah. You see? And I was a little girl. So the difference from me than a lot of people, y'all can't, I can't listen to y'all. Y'all can't tell me nothing. I've been tried. I've been even tried by the fire. I've been tried. Yah have proven Himself. What would it look like for me to deny who He is and especially deny His power? And as I got older, even when I got into the 8th grade and into high school, I still did it, y'all. And then it began to be $5 and $10. Sometimes it was $20. I'm serious, y'all. And I'm not, I'm telling you this as a testimony of what He is and what He can do. You see, He's seen me. He saw what I was doing. So even in the midst of where we think it's about our will and our control and what He predestined any and all things to go according to His will. So whatever you're doing, don't forget, He said your steps has been ordered. Your steps is set up for you to take a step. See, it ain't about coming down the steps. It's about going up the steps. See, and your life is formed in a way that when you're going up the steps, you can't go to the next one until you learn what the one that you first stepped on, what it consists of. What should you have learned that you did right? What did you say right? How did you conduct yourself? Those steps that's been ordered is ordered for you to go up. Okay? And each time you have mastered it, each step in Yah, He takes you to the next step. And then the next step. You see? So when you're thinking it's all about your steps and your order and your free will and you go on thinking that. Because if He knew it before the foundation of the world, tell me, where were you when He knew it? I sure like somebody tell me, where were their choices? Where was your will? Your free will? Where was it at? To give the power back to Yah would say, Father, I think I rule this, I run this, I control this. But I'm going to read in here why you're able to control this and run what you're running. It's because he's allowing you to, because of who you represent. You came down as the fallen angels, not the angels of righteous. You see how those were saying, well, when did I do that? And when did I do that? Because you was the righteous one. And you didn't even know it. These are people in glory, on holy ground, saying, when did I feed? Or when did I give you something to drink? They didn't even know they did it. Because you got to take flesh out of it and put spirit. They had no idea that they had done all this stuff that they was getting credit in heaven for. Because the way Yah see you is not the way you see yourself. The way Yah feel about you is not the way you feel about yourself. Why, Deborah? Why? Because he created you. He molded and shaped you. He predestined you. He ordained you. You either on one side or you on the other. And he knows which side is which. Even heaven's got the list to the Lamb Book of Life. So if the Lamb Book of Life got those that he have numbered and listed was past tense before the foundation of the world, then tell me what choice can you make to get in there? Or what free will do you have to get into the Lamb Book of Life? You don't. Only plan, and this is so powerful what I'm saying, because this is going back with trying to give somebody puree meat, and they haven't even digest water. Water is the number one thing that anybody can digest easy. But to me, what I'm understanding in this day that I'm living is people can't even digest the basic water. And now through the Ruach HaKodesh, he teach me why. Because when he go to John, the Gospel of John, verse, the Gospel of John, first, no, that's not the Gospel of John, I'm sorry. First John. When he takes me to First John, I see the Creator wanting me to understand something this morning, and that was the difference between his spirit and man's spirit. And because man don't know the differences, because they're going to refuse to teach you that, that's bringing you back to the level of liberty, freedom, to accept and realize it's not your actions that's going to get you in there. It's not how you're going to be able to uphold this and uphold that. It's not going to be if I do this, if I do that. See, it's not going to be that. That's why those who went to glory was trying to figure out, when did I feed the visit you in the hospital? When did I do? He's saying to them, wait a minute, this thing is spirit. That's what Sister Deborah is always going to say to you all. Because I'm wanting to keep the power where it's at and stop trying to make the power me. Stop trying to make the power of these Hebrew Israelite men and women. Stop trying to make the power YouTube platforms and all these other platforms. Make the power who it is, the Most High Yah and him only. Now, in the book of First John and 4, I'm getting ready to leave chapter 4. First John and chapter 4. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of Yah. Okay, listen to what he said. First John chapter 4. Beloved, believe not every spirit. What are we dealing with spirit for? We in the flesh. Hold up, Father. What are you talking about? Because Yah has for so long, since time past, trying to get us to understand in Genesis, the beginning, when he breathed the breath of life, he gave you took this spirit and category it as a soul. It leaves you not having the fullness. And that's why people really walks around believing, oh, we got free will choice. We have we can make our own choice. We free will. He gave us the free will. It's because they don't understand that this thing is spirit and this thing is truth. Because when he created Adam, Adam couldn't get up. He couldn't get up. He needed two things. He needed the breath that was blown, that ushered in as well the light, which is a spirit, which is an image of Yah. Yah is not a soul. Okay? So he is a light, which is a spirit. When you, it's okay, I'm gonna set another example. You know how when they started this Hebrew Israelite movement, and when you first fell in love with it and the idea, it made you feel good, and you noticed that it was a big thing on commandments and law and covenant. Did y'all, you remember that? Commandments and law. Keep the commandment, the law. The commandments, the law. When the Most High brought it to me and he was telling me what they did is they took it and category it the way the world category it. And because they did that, they made it harsh. Because when I'm going to tell y'all, I went to the Most High. I said, wait a minute, Father, this is too deep for me. I said, I keep hearing this commandment and this law like iron claws. And I said, I keep hearing them talking it like it's an iron claw. He had to take me all the way back to Genesis. He said, Deborah, I sat and I gave Adam one commandment and one law. And he said, guess what? It wasn't the commandment that the world calls it. It wasn't the law that the world calls it. He said it was supposed to be as simple as instructions and directions. Now, don't that sound much better than the law and the commandment? The way that they were swinging it, and then the Most High had to teach me, Deborah. All it is instructions and directions. That's it. I've been giving them instructions and directions, and they have taken it out of order. That's how. Now, if you look at Yah's, this here that he left for us to be able, when I said left, he allowed it to outlive every book because he knew he was going to bring the Ruach and he's going to use this to kind of lead and guide us. But that's why he says study to show yourself. And when you study to show yourself, you get your butt somewhere and sit down and wait for the Ruach HaKodesh, because you're just studying to show yourself. Don't go studying this book trying to teach somebody. He says study to show thyself, rightly dividing the word of truth. You got to study and show yourself that you're willing to learn this, but you got to rightly divide it, the spirit and truth from the word itself, from what's in here, because it has to be divided, child. Everything in here is not at the or how would I predestined or ordained. It's just the book that he made sure outlive every book on the face of the earth, so he can teach us through it and out of it, because it does hold some of what he has to say, and he knows what he knew what he was doing. Okay, so we're here in first John chapter 4. It says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of Yah. Wait a minute, how you gonna do that, Father? How is it that my spirit is going to try a spirit? See, he's telling you, bypass all this dark mess, this flesh. Bypass this mess. It's evil. It's wicked. It don't mean you no good. It wants you to see, it wants to see your spirit in hell. Your own flesh wants to see your spirit in hell. And y'all are too lost to understand that. That's why it wants to say, I got choices. I got free will. You sure do. Take your tail and there, use the bathroom when you want. You sure do when you want to get in your car to go somewhere. But that's not the overall. You see, this is just a vessel, and it's loaded with evil. And until you get this here in order, where y'all gonna abide in it. So what he's saying is, your spirit tries someone else's spirit. He said, bypass their flesh. So if you see a drunk man on the street, that's why I tell people I don't mess with Christians. I don't mess with other people's religion. I don't go on after, because I've learned from the tail end. See, this ain't about the outer man, y'all. This is about the inner man. So how is my inner man, Father Yah, going to judge somebody else's inner man? How? You got to bypass their flesh. You got to, and how you going to have the strength in the whole thing to do that? When you get the Ruach, it teaches you how to try their spirit by the spirit of Yah that rests therein. You see, it's hard getting through this, y'all. Stop trying to tell your family members what to believe, what to understand, how they should understand what you understand. This thing comes by spirit. If their spirit won't, if you try their spirit by your spirit, and what's resting in your spirit is the spirit of Yah. You can't go messing with their flesh, trying to drill their flesh. All this, all that. No, you can't go to a drunk man on the streets trying to drill his flesh in regards to the truth. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Take your butt on the streets and try to talk to someone on drugs and on alcohol and trying your spirit. You get your butt knocked out, because guess what? Yah is forever everywhere. I've heard a drunk man teach that word. I heard a man that's on drugs day and night quote them words and had it right. So that's what I'm saying. You can't just, so you have to understand, you don't know how Yah coming to you. You see, that's why it's important to get this spirit. That light, Sister Deborah keep telling you to go in the light. That's your spirit. Keep your light in the spirit of the Most High Yah. Now, this is what he said. First John chapter 4. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they are of Yah. Reason why he said don't believe it is because we all have a spirit. You see? And one spirit is sent here for the devil and his angels, and the other spirit is sent here by the angel as the angels of the Most High Yah. You see? They're sent here like that. Okay? And he says, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. And the reason why, when he say false prophets, you also have to understand the false prophets he's talking about are those that has gone out into the world. You can't be a false prophet talking like I'm talking. You see what I'm saying? You can't be because see, the false prophet's going to talk against Yah. And that's why I think it's really sad. That's why I said when people get on and they get on your page and hear what you're saying and they say, yeah, you're not supposed to say you're a prophet, and people saying they this and they that, you're ignorant. You're ignorant. For the simple reason is this here. They believe the false prophets before they believe the prophets of the Most High Yah. And he said here, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Who is he saying that to? Those who represent Yah, the spirits that represents Yah. Let you know you're going to have to try the spirit by the spirit, because there's a lot of false prophets going out there. You see? So you're going to have to bypass who they say that they are, who they appear to be, because they not only look like they want to be holy than thou, they want to talk like they want to be holy than thou. You see, Sister Deborah, I don't care about what I say, because I ain't got no sense and I know I don't. But I tell you what, catch me on the other side in spirit and in truth. You messed up then. I mean messed up from the floor up. Okay? So this flesh of mine ain't going nowhere but back to that grave, to that ground. But my spirit is geared up because I know what I am in Yah's will, in his predestined will. Okay, so here it is. He said, many in 4 and verse 1, false prophets are gone out into the world. That is so true. And it's more false prophets than it is those prophets that represent Yah. Okay. And verse 2, hereby know ye the spirit of Yah. Why you have to know ye the spirit of Yah? Because that's the spirit that's going to be holding you up to be able to allow you to try the spirit by the spirit. See, it ain't going to be your spirit trying somebody's spirit. It's going to have to be the spirit of Yah in you to be able to try spirit by spirit. Okay. And it says, every spirit that confess that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of Yah. Going back to what I was saying about the false prophet. You have 99.9 people believing the false prophets and the false teachers than those that are believing the true anointed, appointed prophets of the Most High Yah. You see? And it says again, hereby know ye the spirit of Yah. Every spirit that confess that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of Yah. Going back to what I was saying again, the way that I talk cannot represent the false prophets. You get what I'm saying? You should know, because if I'm saying and I have accepted Yeshua HaMashiach, and my whole talk is about my Father, his light, I cannot be a false prophet. But you let everybody else tell it. That's the way they would labor it. Because they don't know. Now, I ain't going to say they don't know. Because when they would deny the true prophet is because they are part of the false prophet. So they walk in that way. Now, in verse 3 said, every spirit that confess not that Yeshua HaMashiach is come in the flesh is not of Yah. Okay, when people run around and they don't believe in the plan of Yeshua HaMashiach, which is the word called Jesus Christ, then you automatically know that they ain't about the Most High Yah. And that's what's happening to your men. That is what's happening to your men. They are denying Yeshua HaMashiach. They are denying it. They're now kicking the Old Testament. There's a lot of Hebrew Israelite men that don't want to look into the New Testament. And you know what comes in the New Testament? Yeshua HaMashiach. They don't want to take that. They want to take the Torah. And see, that's the reason why they want to take the Torah. And you'll wonder, why would you want to take the Torah? Everything in there you didn't follow. Everything in there shows that you never was obedient. You never did this, because they think that they can manipulate you all out of the Torah and bypass Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay. So it says, every spirit that confess, verse 3, not that Jesus Christ is coming to the flesh, in the flesh, is not of Yah. And this is that spirit of the Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. Ye, verse 4, are of Yah, little children. Now, how do you become of Yah, little children? As if Yah don't know his children. You see, people want to take away his power and gain it for themselves as if they have a choice. Here he's saying, ye are the of Yah, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. See, verse 5, they are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. You hear, and the world heareth them. That's why Sister Deborah for a long time would tell y'all how you're listening to these people on this Deborah platform and you're eating it up. And I said, Father, why is they listening to that? And why are they believing that? Why are they subscribing to that? Why are they liking that? None of what they're saying is leading them to the water that they can drink and never thirst again. None of this is leading them to the light. None of them is leading into the spirit of the Most High Yah, but just talking all this yang and they eating it up like it's a 4-meal deal. But this is what he says. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. So this is the reason why they hear a lot of yang, and that's the only thing that they want to eat of. They want to eat of the flesh. See, the world feasts the flesh, but Yah feasts the spirit. And so that's one way that they take on everything that they hear, and they make everything about that individual and don't realize that individual is feeding your flesh, your darkness. It's not giving your light any nourishment, no spirit, nor truth. But it can't give you what they don't have. But the people love darkness. He said they love to sit in darkness. And verse 6 says, we are of Yah. Oh, I read that. No, let me read that. Verse 6 says, we are of Yah. He that knoweth Yah heareth us. You see, it's going back. Who is they that knoweth Yah? Those that Yah have sent down here to represent him. That's those that, see, people don't know that there's two sides to it. There's the fallen angels that represents the serpent, and there's the angels that came down to represent Yah. And when they get down here, because the world is loaded with sin and wicked, they get off the right path. But that's what Yeshua HaMashiach come back to do, to bring them back. Okay? Oh, you think he's going to come and not bring the one that got off path or off the road? He's going to bring every last one of them back. And it ain't going to be their choice. And it ain't going to be their free will. Let's go on. We are of Yah. He that knoweth Yah heareth us. He that is not of Yah heareth not. Hereby know we are spirit of truth. You see that? And of spirit of error. The spirit of error is our flesh as well. You see what I'm saying? And the spirit of truth is our spirit. You see, we have two parts, knowing good and evil. We know, it says here, hereby know we the spirit of truth, and we know the spirit of error. Verse 7, beloved, let us love one another, for love is Yah, and everyone that loveth is born of Yah, and knoweth Yah. Now listen to this, verse 8, he that loveth not knoweth not Yah, for he is love. Okay, verse 9, in this was manifest the love of Yah toward us, because that Yah sent his only begotten Son into the world that we might live through him. Okay, now see all that love, that was give and gave. The word they put there is love, and it takes you away from the power of what really belongs there, which is give and gave. Now, all that love was based on what he gave us, and he constantly given us, and he's going to give us in the New Jerusalem. You see what I'm saying? All of it is built on give and gave. That's why when the righteous stood before judgment and they were told all the good things they did, they didn't understand it. It was all wrapped in give and gave. They didn't even know it. They said, when did we do that? Because you were wrapped in the love in which we call love on the earth, which is give and gave in Yah. They were all wrapped in that, and they was trying to figure out, when did we do that? When did that happen? They didn't even know they had did all of these things, but in Yah, you done it. And that's the same way with love. And here, I found this here, and I don't know if you all can see it. You can see it. It says, I thought when I found this here, I said, I'm going to get that. I love this. It says, the love we give away. The love we give away. See, love is to give. It is not. That's why you see so much envy and selfish and hate. It's because everybody is self-centered and about themselves. But listen to what it says. The love we give away is the only love we keep for eternal. Why? Because that's the love of Yah. It is set up in give and gave. It's deep, y'all. You have to, it's, I mean, when you read your word and you start to really get in it, you realize all this love that he's talking about is really built up on give and gave. And that's why he tells us to go out on the highway, give your time, give your energy, give your heart, give your things that you can give. Materialistic things, those are good for giving and gave too. So Sister Deborah's gonna cut this here short. I appreciate everybody in the live chat. It's good to see you all here. And I was saying about all this give and gave and spirit. Our spirit is the one that's going to be there for others, that's going to battle the things that's going on. But I will say this. Today, I was thinking about earlier this morning, the president. Already, and it's probably, I probably got like 3 videos saying that they're going to do away with him anyway. That was the plan from the beginning. But he talks about a dark or a black winter. He is partaker in that. So that might be also during the time they're going to let him go. And because he's the only one that announced the dark winter, I believe he's gonna play a role in it, and I think that's when they're gonna either put him down or do away with him. But I believe in the long run he's gonna go like sleep So some way or another, they're going to work that thing out. But I think that when he said the dark winter, I think that's what he's speaking of. What part that's going to have something to do with him. Um, I also see I see a lot of things that's actually taking place, and it feels almost like a calm before the storm. That's the way I feel it. And I'm like, when is it gonna come? When is it gonna sneak up on you when you ain't even looking? But it's coming. You know it's coming, but it's like it's coming and it's creeping. A lot of issues they're showing us on the media, the beast platforms, and all his newsrooms and all. They're showing us everything going on in the world. But you have to also understand the beast feed us what he want us to see and take in through the eyes. The eyes is a key to the spirit. I mean, I mean, you can he can feed the beast can feed you from your laptop, your phone, your TV. He can feed you through the CNN, the NBC, and all this here, because that's how he has gotten my family. My family has been won over by CBS and CNN. I mean, they're watching it day and night. So therefore, what they taking in everything that the world is saying, which is of the beast. You see. So when you come up and say something, it's like, how you know? But they said this. They said you get so sick of people talking about what they say. Okay, you wants to believe it? That's good. Shalom. You know, I'm well with what you want to believe and take in. But it's good to see everyone in the live chat. It's good seeing you all here. Uh, um, and I will be back tonight because I feel the need to talk about a subject that is before us, and what we need to be doing and what we really need to be preparing for. Uh, I do. I kind of feel like something is about to happen. It's the strangest feeling, but it's just like it's right there, but it's something going to happen, but it's right there. Like it's going to creep up on me or up on us, you know? And I'm just and I know that let me tell y'all, y'all bind he bind a vision and a dream that I know I've seen, but he bound it up. And when I say he bound it up, he put it in me to remember that it exists, but he took the whole ideal of it away. So I won't think of it or I won't remember what it was. One had a whole bunch of fire, a whole bunch of smoke, not fire, but a whole bunch of smoke. And I was trying to turn the knob to get out. And it was like a feeling of death. You know, I was feeling, okay, here this knob, all I do is turn it to get out. But it was like, no, you ain't gonna be able to get out of this one. And that was where I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get out. But I know it was more to it than that, but it's what he took from me. He can lock up your dreams and your vision until the day in which it is to be manifest. And then all of a sudden the Ruach will come and open up things that you were given by him, and you begin to say, well, that's when I remember I had that dream. I know I remember this here, this vision. You know, you be remembering it because now the Ruach's mission is to bring things back to your remembrance, and that's what it does. But it will lock your visions and dreams up. It will lock it up until the time which is set by the Most High Yah. So I, Sister Deborah, would like to say thank you all for coming out this morning. And I hope you got something out of it. And I will say again, I thank you all and love you all in the live chat. It's good seeing you all. And I want y'all to just hang in there with, you can't help but hang in there with the Ruach HaKodesh. But it's some journey, you all. It is some journey that's actually taking place. And I haven't been around the news and a lot of things that's going on. I haven't really been sitting amongst a lot of things that's going on in the world. Even the videos on here, I don't even watch a lot of the chaos that people are speaking of, because when it all said and done, do you want to warn the people of the evil, or do you want to warn the people of the light? I prefer the light, because the light kick butt. when it come down to the evil and the darkness. That light will turn that darkness up. I'm telling y'all. So we need more light than we need darkness. So I, Sister Deborah, will say thank you all for coming out, and I love you and appreciate you all. Shalom and shalom.